if you don't believe me that Google is one of the most important sources of traffic to your website, there's 120 million visits or data points on this graph. It's a pretty large sample set. And it tracks all visits to Government of Canada websites and some nonprofits that we work with in the public health space. And what it shows you is that the #1 way that people get to a GOC site or any of those sites is by a Google search. The #2 way is this thing called none. None is, I've taken an ad and somebody saw the URL, somebody knows the URL, they bookmarked it, or they got an email that included a link. And then you've got 11% that are coming from other GOC sites, and then 2% here from Yahoo, 1% from MSN or Bing, and then 8%. So the social media space is in here. It's in that 8%, somewhere in a fraction of that. Now, as Steve pointed out to me, he said, don't forget, some people get to social media because Google indexes what? Twitter, Facebook, MySpace, blogs, etc. So how important is branded search? How important is your brand? Your brand is the name of your organization. There's, again, about 121 million data points on this slide. And what it shows you is that for just a sample of organizations, the maximum we've ever seen branded search, the name of your organization in any way, shape, or form, is about 60%, and the lowest we've ever seen it is about 8%, with a weighted average of about 21%. So what that means is that for most organizations, the way that people will find your content is not by typing in the name of your organization, but rather typing in the topic. 79% of searches are topic-based. Brand is not important. And how not important is it? This graph has the same number of data points on it, and what we're looking at is percent of visits where the home page is not the first page that they saw. Not the first page that they saw. Why do we love Google? We love Google because it takes us to the relevant page, right? It takes us to the content we want. I don't have to use the navigation tape. In fact, most of our clients say, you know what? I hate our internal site search. I use Google to find information on our site. Does that ring a bell? Does that resonate? Why? Because it gets you to the relevant content. So this is showing you that the percentage of visits where the home page is not the first page is a weighted average 70%. So while you're arguing about get it on the home page, we tell our clients, search optimize. Make sure that your content can be readily findable, because if you want the public to find you, it's about getting that content optimized for the search. So, take up your ARSs and answer this question. By the way, is Carmen Halifax in the room? Thanks for tweeting out. Carmen's tweeting right now with a hashtag, hashtag CPHA, so you can follow her tweets. Okay, all right, wisdom of the crowd. I love it. I love it. So, what percentage of interviews have one of, no, this is not mine. So the question is wrong, but the question was, what percentage of teens use email?
That was the previous question.
Change.
We went too quickly.
What percent of internet users have not viable?
Can we go back?
Go back.
Well, just a note to all of you, you're right.
Yeah. No, you're wrong. They said...
No, they're right on my question.
Oh, they're right on your question. So the question I had was, what percentage of teens use email daily? So while you're answering that, I'll go forward. To me, this is the apocryphal story. This is the apocryphal story that things have changed. So let me walk through this. Two girls in Australia walk into a storm drain, I don't know, it's a thing to do on a Saturday night. They turn right, they turn left, they turn right, and they get lost. So they pull out their mobile phone, and they update their Facebook page saying, I'm lost, help. Shake your head. Shake your head. So millennials, it's a different relationship. It's just a different relationship. Well, can we go back to the answers for the ARS?
Oh, your question's broken.
Okay, bummer. How many, well, here it is. Here's the answer. 16%. The answer is 16%.
More than
16% of teens use email. And these are two independent studies done by Pew Internet American Life, which is Pew Research Center in DC. And this was done by IsaiX, which is a company that provides email to clients. They said 16% send email daily, and you'll see 15 to 17, it's exactly the same, where SMS or text is 57%. Flip that around totally with the over 18 crowd. Flip around totally. So there's a fundamental disconnect that email is not for kids. Email is our tool. So things have changed. I have to disabuse you of it. Things have changed. Stop. But before we throw the baby out with the bathwater, if you look at this, I also believe that the private, I don't think all the answers are in the private sector. Okay, I don't think all the answers are in the private sector, but I do want to say this, is that they put investment where they believe there's going to be a return, and they're still investing in email because most people that buy are us, all right? And so what that means is that while there's a millennial generation that's changing, we're still buying, we're still accessible through email.